Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we have a really special brew day because my buddy, known since high school, Frankie, is gonna come over and we're gonna brew a little bit and try a bunch of different beers that we haven't had before. We're gonna try my IPA that I brewed and bottled in my last video, which I'll link up at the top of the screen. But we're gonna get drunk at midday on a weekday and we're gonna have a bunch of fun. Recently, Frankie and I went on a backpacking trip in the Maryland section of the Appalachian Trail near Rocky Run Shelter. It was a lot of fun. It was super cold, but we did film the whole thing and it's all on his channel, so go ahead and link that as well, and I'll throw that in the description if you'd like to watch that. He brought his dog and it was a whole bunch of fun to hike about 20 miles overall, 22 miles that we ended up doing, so it was a bunch of fun, so check that out. Today we're either brewing a Hefeweizen beer or a Lemondrop or sour drop Saison. It just depends what Frankie decides he wants to brew. I'm gonna leave it up to him, but we're also gonna try my beer that we ended up bottling last episode, so I'm super excited to get into it. For now, we're gonna head inside, wait for his arrival, and get started on some dishes and just get some general equipment together that we're gonna need for brew day. Oh, and one more thing. So whenever Frankie comes over, my dog goes absolutely nuts. And I don't know why, it's only for him. Even when he meets new people or new dogs, he just sort of gets a little squeamish, but for some reason, when Frankie comes over, my dog's reaction is hilarious. He goes absolutely crazy. So I'm definitely gonna wanna show you guys when Frankie arrives how my dog Farley reacts. So let's get into it. All right guys, so Frankie just got here, so we're gonna go ahead and get Farley's reaction because this is great. What's up, buddy? Oh my God. Hey! Alright, so we're here in the kitchen with Frankie. Farley has finally calmed down. And if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and tell about your channel and what you do on there.
Yeah, so I recently started a YouTube channel called Frank's Brewivores, and it basically shows a lot of nature videos, backpacking stuff, and also some information about keeping reptiles. If you're into that kind of thing, feel free to go check it out.
So Frankie and I decided to go with the Saison today instead of the Hefeweizen, and we're also gonna give these a go, which is, I put labels on it, but this is the IPA that I ended up brewing 2 weeks ago and I bottled last week, and again, I'll share that video with you guys. So we're gonna go ahead and... All right. Well, it didn't explode, so...
That's good.
That's a move.
Ooh, beautiful,
That's
dude.
pretty, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's real nice.
Dude, that turned out crazy.
That's nice, man.
Look.
So if you guys ferment in the bottle in order to get your carbonation instead of forced carbonation, there's gonna be a little bit of nasty yeast at the bottom of the bottle, and you probably don't wanna drink that. I can imagine it might mess your digestive system up a little bit, so I would avoid drinking that. But, all right, you coming in here?
Of course.
That's pretty good level of carbonation. That's like,
Dude, that is like really good.
is that good? Yeah. It's very hoppy though. It's like,
It's a little too hoppy for me.
really hoppy.
I'm usually not a fan of the IPAs, man, but that is freaking good.
Isn't it? I'd say they probably only need like another 2 days of carbonating, because that was a pretty good fizz.
Yeah.
And like the head came out pretty good, so. All right, let's get drunk. Sour monkey?
Sour monkey.
Yeah, let's start strong.
It's a little too hoppy for me.
Yep.
Here.
What are
First spell of the day.
What are your... There's a beer called Duck Rabbit Milk Stout, and it is regarded by me as the best beer of all time. So you gotta try that one.
Lewis said that I like similar beers to you.
So these are the two sours that I have in. Sour monkey, to me, is just how quickly can I get demolished in the smallest amount of, like in the smallest amount of time. I mean, it's good. It kind of just tastes like acid though. It's kind of just really vinegary. There's not much else in it, but these are really good.
I really have to sip a sour monkey though.
Yes. Oh, he's getting right into it. He's like,
Yeah. It's you know, quarantine.
quarantine.
We're going at it.
Yeah, it's just there's no hop and there's no malt. It's just
Yeah, I that's one of the only sours I've had, so I'm excited.
All right, so we'll go over a few of the ingredients that are included in this kit. This is by Northern Brewer, and they're actually a really popular brand. So if you're into home brewing, you'll know about these guys. I just, over the holidays, I got a super good deal on this Saison and another Hefeweizen, and this has, I think, 3 hop additions. Yes, it does. So it's got 2 of the Lemondrop and a German Northern Brewer. And we've got specialty grains, which will steep after, I don't know, would that steep first? I don't know, I'll have to take a look at the recipe on this one. And Bavarian wheat malt extract, the Pilsen malt extract syrup. I haven't brewed with syrup before, and most kits do have syrup, but I'm used to using the dry malt. So we'll again see how that goes. And it looks like we have a bag. This is probably for the specialty grains. Then we just got corn sugar, I guess. That's not for priming bottles or anything. Yeah, you just add this into the beer, I guess, just to bring the gravity up a little bit.
So the only 2 things it doesn't have in the kit is the yeast and then the priming sugar.
Yes, so, well, this did come in the kit, but this isn't for priming.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
You would have to get that on your own.
But, I mean, it's for priming stuff, but you just add this to the beer. Priming sugar won't come with it, and neither will yeast if you buy from these guys. You'll have to buy the yeast separately, but it's all on the same page. They just make you, they consider this an extra in the kit. It doesn't come with it, because you get your choice between a dry and a liquid yeast, depending on what you're making. They'll give you recommendations. It's not confusing at all. At some point, we're gonna have to start brewing and stop drinking, so. Well, no, we can brew and drink at the same time,
Yeah.
so we'll do that.
We're not stopping anytime soon, buddy.
Step 1, bring 2.5 gallons of water up to a warm temperature. Does it say boil?
It just says
heat. That's probably gonna go up to somewhere around 160 Fahrenheit.
So how much will this make?
This will make 5 gallons.
So 5 gallons of beer for 25 bucks, I guess, once you get the...
Yeah, if you go into if I went into my local homebrew supply shop, each kit would cost me around $50, which is fine. I mean, even then, 5 gallons for 50 bucks is incredible. When you visit the online website, sign up with your email to get 10% off, that sort of thing. If you shop smart, you can get these at a rate that's not going to break the bank. The cheapest way to brew anything that'll get you drunk is just to make like a hard seltzer, which is, it's literally water, sugar, and yeast. There is no flavor, there's no anything else.
We should revamp the J&M Brew and make a ginger beer at some point with like...
I'm down to make ginger beer.
We should grow the ginger though.
We could make...
Yeah, you know.
I know what you're talking about. We could definitely make ginger beer, but I'd also like to make like dandelion wine and shit. Like I've heard people make dandelion wine. It's supposed to be really good.
We gotta do the wineberry wine.
Oh yeah.
No doubt.
You can't like pick wineberries and then not make a wine.
Yeah, unless you're me and then you just make a ton of jam out of it for PB&J.
That was wild when it boiled over that last time. I leave it just like this, and I should have been paying.
Was it just the water?
No, it was the water and all the malt. Everything was
important stuff.
Yeah, and I was waiting for it to come up to a boil, and we were drinking, so I was drunk, and I went and sat back on the couch, and then I hear this. And my dad comes running over, he's like, Lou, what the hell? And I look, and it's just all over the place. I'm like, no. It wants me to steep it at an unknown temperature until it reaches 170 Fahrenheit. That's dumb. I guess it really doesn't matter then. I guess it doesn't need to be too warm. Yes, it does. It needs to be a certain temperature to steep. So let me see. What is this? Is this even?
From what you're telling me, it doesn't seem like that would be a game changer.
No. No, and honestly, it's what? How much is it? Feels like 6 ounces, or like 8 ounces, maybe half a pound. Is that what it says?
So where does the grain
It's
come
not
into
even, it's
play?
freaking 4 ounces.
Like, what is that doing?
This is adding really small variations in flavor. So,
But that doesn't get fermented or anything.
well, yeah.
It does?
Not the actual grain itself. 'Cause
Right.
It ends up in the bag.
Yeah.
But it's gonna steep all the sugars out of it and the flavors.
Okay.
That'll become part of the mixture that does get fermented. But like this is 6 pounds of syrup. Like,
That's gonna get fermented, right?
yeah. Well, along with this, a pound and corn sugar as well. Like, all of it is like.
And what's this?
That was once this.
Oh, this is like ground wheat.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not ground. It's extract. So, in all grain brewing, people take like overall like 9 or 10 pounds of grain and steep it in water and for a really long time and get a sugary solution from the wheat, like just from crushed grain. So like all this. If they were to dehydrate that, it would be this.
So it's ground.
So it's already been malted.
Okay.
So it's like skipping the step for us, because if I want to do all grain brewing, I would have to have like a big, like all in one unit with like.
It wouldn't even fit in.
Yeah, I'd have like a pump off of here so that it takes the liquid from the bottom and recirculates it through the lid and like goes back into the. And I want to do that at some point. I want to do all grain brewing because it's like this is like pure.
Yeah.
But this is pretty. This is just fun. You can't be putting that sort of stuff on YouTube.
I know, dude.
YouTube's algorithm. I know. I would love to be bumping music right now.
Yeah, if the song is just like playing in the background, it's like, nope. And then catch it at the. It'll be like at a whisper. And it'll be like, oh, copyright.
It's so dumb. So I'm having Frankie try my favorite beer that I've had. It's the Weiss beer, but this brand is extremely good.
That is actually very good.
Isn't it?
I'll give it to you.
Doesn't it taste like banana and clove?
I was about to say, it's kind of like banana bread.
I drank way too many of these recently.
He's been drinking like 4 beers a night.
I have. I just eat less.
It's good.
Come and smell this. It smells like cereal.
It smells like really good cereal though. Like.
A little bit cornflakes.
Oh, that's what it is. It is. It smells like cornflakes. Yeah, we were about to.
Do I get to make lunch?
Oh, absolutely. That's fine. Yep. All right, so we've had our specialty grains steeping for about 20 minutes, and we've reached temperature like it says on the recipe, and it smells really good. We were saying it smells a little bit like cornflakes. So I've got this bag here, and what I'm gonna do is try and fish this out without burning myself. Stir 6 pounds pills and I can't read. I'm pretty drunk. I'm alright. Yeah. I'm feeling pretty nice.
Harder though.
So good.
That's
We're both
even
in MTM2
harder.
and we live together. It'd be way too lit.
That would be too lit. Dude. That'd be dangerous.
It would be.
That'd be dangerous for society. You could really get cut in on the gecko business if we live together too. There's got to be a good gym nearby.
Oh, there's gyms everywhere, bud. Oh, that's dark. All right, so we got an Irish coffee cream from Saranac. I've had a few beers from Saranac, and I've always found that there's just no like aftertaste. There's no flavor after the initial either hop hit or malt hit. So we'll see how this goes because I haven't tried this before, and I'm guessing it's like a brown ale, but I mean it just says ale with natural flavors, so I don't know. But I usually don't like savory beers, so we'll see how this goes. It smells like coffee.
It's very good.
Oh, it tastes like coffee. Again, no aftertaste.
It kind of tastes more like a stout to me than an ale.
I feel like that. Do you feel like it falls
slightly less like rich.
I feel like it falls off quickly.
It looks like a brown ale. Stouts are like black.
Yeah, it's got a very maybe a little bit meaty, gamey. You know what I mean? When you have a dark beer and it tastes a little bit like roast beef.
No.
It's just me.
No, it's just you. I was like trying to put it together in my head and I was like, nah.
It's only having me use half of the pack of Magnum Hop.
Was that the one that there was?
I don't even have Magnum Hop. They gave me the wrong thing.
I would imagine.
I'm sure that they go by.
Gotta be talking about this one.
Okay, we're just gonna go for it. It doesn't matter. There's no rules.
Yeah, there's no rules in this kitchen.
So we're up to boiling temperature after steeping the specialty grains. So as per the recipe, I'm gonna kill the heat, let that cool down a little bit. Remove my thermometer. And now we're gonna add our malt extract syrup. So I haven't done this yet in any of my brews, so it'll be a bit of a learning experience for all of us. You got nails?
Nope.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no, that's weird. Yeah, it tastes like Ovaltine. All right, so let's go ahead and... Oh, I'm gonna end up dropping this. This is so, like, unprofessional compared to my last video.
That's better. Once you edit it. That's wild looking.
So the plan is to try and dissolve all of this. We've lost a little bit of liquid, but actually we've lost an entire gallon of liquid because I was too slow in deciding to add this in. So, but again, there's no rules, so we'll get this all dissolved. I might top the water up just a little bit, and we'll see you when we've done this. I'll give him a pet. See if he's all right with you. It's okay.
We're gonna be friends today.
It's okay.
That's mad progress.
That's progress.
Mad progress.
Oh, good boy.
Come on, let me give you a bite.
Hey! All right, so here's the bag with the specialty grains, and I don't have much grain in there, but with my last recipe, I had a lot more than this. And keep in mind that this stuff can be composted with anything else that you guys would usually have, like kitchen scraps or anything. So I definitely recommend throwing this in your compost. We've brought our wort up to a boiling temperature here at around 100 Celsius. So we're gonna start our 60-minute boil, which most of the extract kits and just most brewing in general tends to do a 60-minute boil with all hop installations. So we're gonna drop our little basket in and add our first installation of hops. So this has been bubbling away here for, seems about 25 minutes, half an hour. We've got 28 minutes until our next hop edition, which is with 10 minutes left in the boil. So this isn't an overly bitter beer. It's not gonna have a massive hop flavor, but while that goes, Frankie's over here making some lunch. So you wanna run us through what you're making?
Yeah, so I'm gonna do like a anabolic chicken and waffles, and basically that just means that it's high protein and low calorie. And we got some chicken breast here, and I'm just cutting this down to the size that we wanna put it into the air fryer. We're gonna bread it with some corn flakes using egg whites as our wash, and then we're gonna make some Kodiak cake waffles to go with it.
So what are we seasoning with here?
Just a little bit of chili powder, salt and pepper. Just keep it simple, super good.
We've got the chicken in the air fryer of the first batch of chicken. We're gonna end up doing 2. And then we're gonna start it here on the waffles. So that'll be the Kodiak cakes. I really like these. These are pretty good. They're not too dissimilar from regular pancakes, but they just have a lot more protein. Yeah. My favorite is actually is it called the double chocolate? It's just the dark chocolate, but they cinnamon oat and chocolate chip. Those are really good as well. The cinnamon oat ones are nice, especially if you make them with apples. They're very good. So we got the first batch out, and these are really looking good, really crispy. That air fryer is pretty good. We're just breading the second batch here, and then we'll get the waffles going. We've just got the batter sitting here, just resting until we finish this batch. So we've reached the 50-minute mark in our boil. which means that we're gonna add the remainder of the malt and that bag of corn sugar and 1 ounce of Lemondrop hops. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour those in and add my malt and the corn sugar. So we got 3.5 minutes left here on our boil. And we only have 1 more hop addition left, which will be at 0 minutes in the boil. So we're gonna drop that in there and then immediately evacuate this into a ice water bath. And over here, we're splitting up the chicken and waffles. But what happened to the waffle, man?
I don't know, dude. I don't know what happened. I cooked them too long. That's what happened.
We did cook them a little too long. That's all right, though. That's good. And I'm thinking that chicken's probably done, right?
It's gotta be.
The chicken is gonna be flames.
Yeah, so basically what we got here is our anabolic chicken and waffles. We used the Kodiak cakes for the waffles and then breaded our chicken in cornflakes using egg whites. And I seasoned it with that chili powder, salt and pepper. And then we made a little hot syrup with, I think, what was it, Carrie's low-cal syrup, and then some Frank's Red Hot. And that's our chicken and waffles.
So our boil is finished. So I'm gonna go ahead and add our last addition of hops. It's another addition of Lemondrop, just like the last. I'm gonna throw this in. And then we're gonna go ahead and evacuate this into an ice water bath. So our wort has come down to room temperature, so we're gonna evacuate it from here, and we're gonna put it in our fermentation bucket and fill it up to 5 gallons and then pitch our yeast. So we've gone and gotten everything sanitized so that we can move our chilled wort to the fermenter, and we're gonna backfill it with up to 5 gallons of water. So let's grab our fermentation bucket. Again, Star San is completely 100% no rinse, so you don't have to get rid of the bubbles or anything. So don't be alarmed if there's a ton of bubbles. I did burn that one.
A little bit.
Yep. A little bit. We have backfilled all the way to 5 gallons, so I'm gonna let this sit. I'm gonna sanitize my spoon so I can stir it up. I'll sanitize my thermometer so I can take a temperature reading, and then if it's the temperature of the yeast, we will go ahead and pitch our yeast. And our yeast, on the packet, it says that we can apply it directly into the wort. So I'm not gonna make a starter, or I'm not gonna soak it in water. I'm just gonna go ahead and add it directly into the brew here. So I will get with you when we're ready to do that. So we're gonna go ahead and take our hydrometer readings here for our original gravity. Give us a little bit of an idea for the potential alcohol, and we're gonna want this reading for when our beer is done brewing, so that we can tell what our alcohol percentage is.
1064.
So we've gotten a reading of about 1064, which is 1.064, which is around what we should have gotten with this recipe, because it says that we should have hit 1.06, so we're only 0.004 off. So that's actually bang on. So we've gone ahead and sanitized our yeast pack and our scissors. And here I have my spoon sitting in some Star San and my thermometer. So I'm gonna give this a stir just to make sure that the temperature is dispersed correctly, thoroughly, evenly in all of the wort. So evacuate that, grab my thermometer, I'll drop that in, and we'll take a temperature reading, and as long as it's within the range I need it to be, which is around room temperature, just a little bit above, 23 Celsius, that's about 75 degrees, I think. So we're gonna go ahead and pitch our yeast. So we sanitized our yeast packet and the scissors because even the bacteria on the outside of the packet and on the scissors may compete with the yeast in fermentation, and they may also cause some either nasty odors or nasty flavors, or they might even turn your beer bad. So we're gonna go ahead and pitch our yeast. So we're gonna go ahead and sanitize our lid, and then we'll throw it on with a sanitized airlock filled with sanitizer, and this can sit for about 2 weeks while it ferments. So we have our sanitized lid. We're gonna go ahead and throw that on, but I like to throw it on loose first. I don't like to crank it down right away so that I can add my airlock with my lid. Throw that on, and then we'll snap the lid on. All right, guys, so it's about 5 days after our original brew day, and it took me a while to record this. I've been super busy, but I wanted to give you guys an update on how our beer is doing, and I'll give you an update on the blueberry wine as well. But I did want to mention that none of the brands that you will see in this video I'm affiliated with. I'm not affiliated with any of the brands in the video. I wanted to make that clear. And I've had my beer fermenting now at about 68 degrees. It's a little cold for the yeast strain that I'm using. They want you to hit room temperature, just slightly above room temperature. But I've been having issues with temperature control in my house, so this one might flunk out a bit. It's still bubbling, it's still fermenting, but I really hope that I'm able to get down to that final gravity that I'm hoping for. And I'm sure that you're glad that Frankie's not here anymore, huh? Yeah? Big crazy boy. Why do you hate him so much, huh? So let's go ahead upstairs and we'll take a look at the brew. I'll show you the arrangements upstairs where I have it sitting, and we'll take a look at the blueberry wine as well. So to be transparent on what happened between lidding and this beer being here right now, all that I did was bring it upstairs, and it's sitting in the room which I usually leave my stuff to ferment because it's the warmest room in the house. It's just been sitting here, bubbling away, and it's slowed down quite a bit. It was really going the first, 2 nights. Today is the first day that I've noticed that this has significantly slowed down. It was very cold last night. I woke up in the middle of the night and I figured, hey, let's check the temperature strip on the outside of my fermenter here, and it was down at 62, so it was very, very low, and I'm having trouble getting it back up to temperature because right now it's saying we're at about 65 degrees, which still isn't warm enough. So maybe I'll blast a space heater in this room, let it warm up a little bit. But you definitely want to make sure that with this strain of yeast and with this recipe that you really try and hit 70 degrees Fahrenheit, so about room temperature, 70 to 75, because your yeast will suffer if you can't get the right temperature. And I think that that's what we've got going on here. With my IPA, it was a similar thing, but the yeast was rated for a lower temperature, and it never went through this slow of a fermentation this early. So I'm going to try and bring the temperature up in this room, and we'll let her go for another probably week and a half. So I want to try and hit 2 weeks on fermentation with this, but let's go and show you the blueberry wine that I have and the setup for that. So I've actually got my blueberry wine in my closet so that I have a dark space for it. Because it's in a glass carboy, I really need this to be away from UV light. And there's very few places in the house that don't have UV light and aren't the basement because the basement's too cold. So I've got this sitting in here, again at the same temperature pretty much as the beer, but this is still bubbling really strong, and I've made sure that when I threw it in here, I labeled what it is and the date of secondary so that, about a month after I can pull that out and know when to pull it out. But if you don't have a space in your house where it's completely pitch dark most of the time, or at least away from UV rays, you can go ahead and wrap a towel around your carboy. You can do a lot of things to make sure that the wine on the inside doesn't get affected by that. So that's it for this video. Big thanks to Frankie for coming over and helping me with my brew day. This was his first one, so I think you really enjoyed it, and we had a lot of fun brewing and having some drinks and listening to music and stuff. It was a lot of fun. So go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to comment and subscribe while you're at it, that'll help me out a little bit. And we'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks.